Sziasztok! Berobbant a Venom 2 első előzetese, és ezúttal is egy igen különleges trailerelemzéssel készültünk, ugyanis amerikai kollégáink elérték, hogy maga a rendező Serkis menjen végig a kedvcsináló képsorain. Át is adjuk neki a szót, hogy elemezze ki a látottakat.
Welcome, my name is Andy Serkis and I am lucky enough to have been the director on Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And I am so excited after all this time, after what seems like an endless period of time, to finally bring you the world first trailer of this amazing movie starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams and Woody Harrelson and Naomi Harris. So welcome to the trailer, which we're going to break down and share a few stories about it. Here we go. I mean, imagine living in this flat. You've got crazy Eddie Brock and you've got crazy Venom, and they are now what is in effect in the odd couple stage of their relationship. This is now, they've been together for, I don't know, imagine a year and a half, say, since the last story, and they're figuring out how to be with each other. And it's like living with this maniac toddler. Eddie's really struggling. He can't concentrate. He's trying to get on with work, and he's, of course, only thinks about himself anyway.
Excuse me? Yummy.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Mrs. Chen.
Little Easter egg as he passes. I'm not going to give too much away, actually, but there's a little Easter egg in this scene. And Venom just points to him there. And on you go. And Mrs. Chen runs the convenience store, and that's where they go for their chocolate supplies and so on. Now, okay, Woody Harrelson. Cletus Cassidy in this story, of course, we've left the last movie, and the Easter egg on the end was the introduction of Cletus Cassidy. But it seems that from the way that we lead into this story, that they have formed some sort of relationship, and he's the only person that Cassidy will talk to. And it's because there's something in their personalities, in both their personalities, which, in fact, there's a similarity. They're both had strange upbringings with strange relationships with their parents and their families, and there's an inherent loneliness that they both recognize in each other. Cletus actually reaches out and will only speak to Eddie Brock. That's at the beginning of the story. We learn that he's the only one he'll speak to, and the cops therefore want Eddie to go in and investigate and try and discover where some of the many bodies that of Cletus's victims are.
Every decision we ever make.
Obviously, there are links between Venom and Spider-Man in the Marvel universe and the Spider-Man story. But in this, we're treating this very much as it's his own world. The Venom story is his own world. There are nods and little moments that you just like this newspaper, the Daily Bugle, of course. But on the whole, he's unaware. They are unaware at this point of other characters like Spider-Man. So that's the way we've chosen to play this particular episode of the movie. But well, we'll wait and see. We'll see what little things you can pick out of it. This character here, though, is his name is Mulligan, and played by the incredible Stevie Graham, who you will have seen in loads of movies recently. Really talented British actor. He plays Mulligan, who is the cop who's really trying to investigate Cletus Cassidy, and is waiting for news, constantly waiting for news from Eddie as he goes in and interrogates him.
Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them?
This lovely little abode is, of course, well known to fans. I'm not going to say too much about it, but of course it houses some of the world's greatest supervillains, and it's a secret place not even Detective Mulligan and SFPD know about. we get another slightly different entry point into this strange place, which of course links up to other Marvel Universe characters, particularly Spider-Man stories, of course. But again, without giving too much away.
Waiting.
Here we have the incredible Naomi Harris as Frances Barrison, aka Shriek. And she is very, as we know from those who know the comics well, know that she had a very difficult childhood too. Not unlike many of the other characters in this movie, it's very much a running theme. Family, parents, how things have gone wrong, how people may know, if they're fans of the Venom comics, how damaged she has been and been bullied and manipulated by parents, and has, went through a very traumatic upbringing and forms a very strong, lifelong relationship with her childhood sweetheart, who I'm not going to give away who that is right now.
Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
And this is our introduction to Cletus. Now, you'll notice that Cletus it looks very different to the Coda in the last movie, and we wanted to give a sense that he is, he's been in there for some time and that he's gone through various changes. We wanted to strip away all of that so that we could really see what's going on with the darkness of the character. The end of Cletus as we see it, and he finally is about to depart this world, or so we think.
Soon come chaos.
But no, because guess what? This is called Let There Be Carnage, let's face it. So is he really going to disappear? I don't think so. And here we are. You get to see a little bit, just a snippet of the transformation of Cletus Cassidy into Carnage. The scene which precedes this is obviously it's an execution scene, and so what's so great about this movie is that you can go from the real life, and it feels very real. When we were shooting that whole scene, it felt very, there's this real. It's a completely replica of the San Quentin Death by Lethal Injection chamber, and it's sort of. It's got a really weird, dark, horrible kind of mood to it. So, and then it goes into this, which is what's so amazing about these stories, is that you can go from a sense of reality and it's all based in reality, and then you can shift into an extraordinary character like this. Literally the birthing of Carnage. Here we see a little moment of the potential capabilities of Frances Barrison's superpowers and what she can, this is just a slight indication of the damage and the havoc she can wreak as Shriek. So a little indication of Carnage at play with what he can do. I mean, this character was so much fun to work on in design and to take from the comic and take from the comic world. And to, we looked at so many. I mean, it was wonderful having the opportunity to take this character that's never been seen before on screen, as much as you do get to know him in our story. And to really play with the physicality, how he moves, how he extrudes his tentacles, because there's a difference between, as a symbiote, there are differences between, say, Venom and Carnage. For those who know they're obvious. He can actually change molecularly. He can actually change himself. So he can go from being, he can turn to mist. He can turn to all manner of tendrils. He can take different forms. He can weaponize. He can do all of these different things.
Chaos soon come.
For the final reveal, for this moment that you see in the trailer, the first time you fully see you fully see carnage. We just wanted, again, to not give too much away, but just to give a little snapshot of the energy, of the crazy energy, the weapons, the tendrils, just a little moment for everybody to get their first teased kind of look at what it's going to be like.
Is the loneliest number that you ever do.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen. No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
The fact of the matter is that there's a normality and an everydayness to carrying a symbiote around inside you. And one of those things is you have to make sure your symbiote's fed, quite frankly. And Mrs. Chen, who's a character we come back to, and the convenience store that we've established in the first movie, it's a real touchstone place. And there are a number of scenes that happen there. It's like plugging back into normal world for a second, and yet you can see from Eddie's expressions throughout this that he's now, and of course that Mrs. Chen knows about Venom, so she's not freaked out by it until Eddie's sort of mildly threatens her with what might happen if she doesn't keep the secret.
Nothing?
And then finally, this is one of the moments from the movie. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to give too much away, but it's a nice way of showing you a little bit more of carnage and the fact that he's coming right at you, and that he is, again, going back to what I was talking about earlier with how he weaponizes, how he is able, the tendrils, how they work, how his physicality works. But just the very, almost here we leave him in this semi-godlike shot, very, very Leonardo da Vinci sort of iconic shot of carnage that we want to leave you all with. So that's the trailer, the first trailer. Hope you guys enjoy it. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and you've been so patient. We're all dying to see it in the cinema on the big screen. For a lot of this time, of course, during COVID, we've been working away on small laptops and computers, and all separated. The whole team's been across the world. There's been a global effort to bring this movie together. So we are thrilled when you finally do get to see it. When you see it in the cinemas. There's a lot of love and a lot of excitement, and we really seriously hope that you enjoy it.
Ez minden tehát, amit Serkis kiszúrt nekünk a Venom 2 Vérontó első előzeteséből. Ha tetszett a videó, akkor feltétlenül csekkoljátok a Mortal Kombat trailerelemzését, amelyben annak rendezője Simon McQuaid működött közre. Sziasztok!